It wasn't a dim ballroom or a glittering evening event. It was broad daylight, sunlight flooding through the tall glass walls of the country's most luxurious event venue. A famous charity gala, held in the afternoon, where the wealthiest families arrived in convoys of polished cars. Photographers flashed cameras, fountains sparkled, and servers carried trays of champagne across flower-lined walkways. In that glowing daylight, every face looked confident, proud, almost untouchable. But one woman stood out, not for jewels or gowns, but for her quiet power. Maya Carter, the CEO of Carter Innovations, was there to finalize a $5 billion partnership with the Harrington Group, one of the wealthiest white, billionaire families in the nation. This partnership would bring life-saving medical technology to more than 30 countries. The media was prepared for celebration. Investors were ready for historic headlines. Everything seemed perfect. Yet as Maya stepped forward, she noticed the looks. They were not admiring. They were mocking, measuring, doubting. By the time the sun moved across the sky, the world would witness a moment no one expected. How did a quiet CEO dismantle an empire without raising her voice? Stay until the end. Wait a second. Tell us where you're watching from in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more powerful stories like this. Maya never came from luxury. She grew up in a neighborhood where opportunities were rare and hope was expensive. Her mother worked long days and longer evenings, teaching her that dignity was worth more than wealth. Maya learned early that the world does not readily welcome a black girl who dreams too big. She studied science with passion. She repaired broken radios, built small electronic models, and wrote designs in old notebooks. Her talent was undeniable, but the world noticed her skin before her skills. She was underestimated in classrooms, questioned in interviews, and ignored in boardrooms, but she fought forward. Step by step, years later, she founded Carter Innovations, a company dedicated to affordable medical devices, tools that could save lives in underserved countries. Many investors rejected her. Some called her ideas impossible. Yet hospitals began using her devices, and results spoke louder than prejudice. Finally, the Harrington Group approached her company. Old money, international power, global networks, partnering with them could expand her technology across continents. It would be the biggest deal of her career. The signing and announcement were scheduled at that daylight gala. Flowers, music, cameras, every detail designed to display power and elegance. Maya arrived wearing a sleek dress and a calm expression. She didn't need gold or diamonds. She carried something more substantial, earned success. But sunlight can be bright and harsh. It exposes everything, including arrogance. The gala looked picture-perfect in the afternoon sun. White tents, shining marble floors, golden decor, and rows of tables decorated with fresh roses. The air smelled of perfume and polished wealth. Maya took her seat at the partners' table. Some guests gave polite nods. Others stared longer than necessary, as if trying to understand how a black woman had gained a seat among the wealthiest people in the world. Whispers began, soft, sharp, poisoned. Some guests wondered how she managed to get such a deal. Some doubted she was truly the CEO. A few investors looked at her as if she had slipped into a room she didn't belong in. Then the Harrington family arrived. Their entrance was practically a performance, cameras flashing, reporters racing, guests rushing to greet them. Their expensive designer suits and diamonds seemed to shine brighter in the sunlight. They shook hands with influential leaders, hugged politicians, and smiled for the press. But when they reached Maya's table, their eyes moved over her as if she were invisible. They acknowledged others, just not her. No smile, no handshake, not even basic respect. The sun reflected off their polished silverware while their arrogance soaked the room. As speeches began, the Harrington heirs stood in groups whispering and staring directly at Maya. Their smirks were confident, cruel, and casual. They were laughing, not because anything was funny, but because they believed she didn't belong. The family took the stage to speak about innovation and the future of global healthcare. But when they thanked their visionary partners, they conveniently ignored Carter Innovations. They mentioned smaller companies, but not the one leading the entire project. Screens displayed photos of global CEOs. When Maya's face appeared, some people stopped clapping. Some rolled their eyes. Others leaned back in disbelief. Racism didn't hide in shadows or dark corners. It stood boldly in the sunlight. And Maya, silent, observing, made a decision, not emotional, not reactionary, strategic. The kind that changes history. By midday, the crowd was prepared for the final announcement. Journalists raised their cameras. Business channels went live. Investors leaned forward, expecting cheers, applause, and celebration. Everything was ready, but Maya stood up. Her movement was simple, but it felt like the earth shifted. Every eye turned toward her. The Harringtons paused, confused. The guests quieted. With the sun bright above her and the world watching, Maya made the announcement. Carter Innovations was canceling the $5 billion partnership, effective immediately. No negotiation, no delay, no yelling. No insults, just pure, unshakable dignity. Silence spread across the elegant courtyard. The same people who mocked her, ignored her, whispered about her, were now staring in shock. The Harrington family froze, powerless. Investors panicked. Reporters scrambled. Maya didn't stay to explain. She turned and walked away, sunlight on her face, leaving behind a room full of people who finally understood what respect truly costs. Within hours, news exploded around the world. Black CEO cancels 5BI deal after discrimination at luxury Gala. The Harrington Group's stock collapsed. Investors pulled out. Supporters vanished. Business partners demanded answers. Their reputation, built over generations, was cracked in a single afternoon. Meanwhile, Carter Innovations rose higher than ever. Countries reached out for collaboration. Hospitals signed contracts. New investors offered better terms with more respect. Maya didn't celebrate loudly. She continued her work, quietly, powerfully. She proved that dignity is priceless, and silence can be stronger than confrontation. Her story became a symbol for millions. Reminder that racism doesn't always shout. Sometimes it smiles. Sometimes it whispers. Sometimes it comes dressed in gold and silk. But dignity, when protected, is stronger than all of it. So here's the question. If respect is removed, what value does power really have? And where are you watching from? City and country. Take care.